Abram has been working with educational institutions and offering teaching internships for pre-service teachers and as a teaching consultant and development for K-12 teachers here in the Rogue Valley for the past 3 years. The Hardison Center, his latest endeavor, is a new youth center in Grants Pass scheduled to open in 2017. And he's currently working on a project with Walker Elementary School, and they're having amazing results. And he's going to be talking through his work with On Task about just creative outlets for children and alternatives to drug use and addiction, and his views on sort of community development and how to make that work in schools. So thank you so much.
All right, hello everyone, I'm Abram. What I do is build meaningful relationships in classrooms to help teachers and students connect with one another and help teachers connect with their community and the world at large as human beings. What's your name? Rick. Hi Mick, I'm Abram. I feel connected. Just a little. What's your name?
Heidi.
Heidi. This is Heidi. What's something you're interested in, Heidi?
Helping kids.
Helping kids. Me too. We related. Okay. I would like you folks to, everyone who's able, to stand up. Shoulder roll. As you're starting. Okay. Slide. So this is something that I do with K through everybody. I'm not kidding. Folks in higher education in the master's program, when I do their post-eval, they say this is their favorite part of my whole lecture. So I'm going to start it off. My name is Abram, and a sound and movement that expresses how I feel is, my heart's kind of doing this, so, And on the count of 3, I want everyone, that's weird, let's do boom, 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 boom. I want everyone to repeat that back once and then come to quiet. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And since we're already buds, what is a sound and movement? You ready? That expresses how you feel? We're going to copy it back once. You guys get it? Okay.
I'm full. I'm really full.
She said she's really full. Like this. On the count of 3, everyone's going to say, I'm really full, and you're going to bring all the positive energy in. 1, 2, 3. I'm really full. Okay, do it again, but really big. Okay, have a seat. So, why do kids do drugs? Remember at the beginning I said, we're going to look at the root causes and see if we have the tools, if we're equipped, or if we need more tools. So, someone raise a hand and just shout it out. That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Why do kids do drugs? There's no right answer. Bored? They're so bored. Curious?
Scared. Alone.
Feeling scared and alone?
Coping.
Coping?
Kids do drugs because they hurt.
Because they hurt. Okay. Next.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure?
Because they're so available.
Because they're there.
Because they're fun.
They're fun. Okay. Are we providing fun experiences for them? That's a question. Please don't answer it. And that's for the rest of your life to think about. So this is one of the reasons kids do drugs. There is no one reason. Just like there's no one right answer, there's no one sound and movement that's better than the other. So a few of the things here. What do they say, Andrew?
Misunderstood, not listened to, invalidated, discontent, ashamed, afraid, hopeless, and alone.
Have you ever felt that way, ever?
Many times.
Has anybody ever not felt any of these things? Raise your hand. Okay, so there's so many similarities in the room right now. And I'm not kidding when I say, oh, we're all connected and it's feel good. It actually feels good, we're connected. Dig it. Okay, next. So I do an exercise called One Step Forward, and it's kind of an off take on some of the bullying exercise that you may have known, heard about, where there's a line and people step onto it and stuff, and then sometimes feel even more traumatized afterwards. Not always, but if there's not the right follow-up, it often leaves kids feeling kind of exposed. Can, not always. Depends on the facilitator. So I do, everyone's standing in a circle, and we take one step forward if we agree with the statement. Take one step forward if you're wearing black shoes. You look around and you try not to cast judgment on your peers, just observe. You even get excited that someone might be different than you, and then take a step back. So in this one, I say take a step forward if you've ever been accused of doing something that you didn't do. 100% of every single person, every single time I've ever done this in the last 10 years, stands forward. It's the only time we're in solidarity is when we feel misunderstood, and we can relate about that. I don't feel like people understand me or really know me or even take the time. I find this stuff fascinating. Okay, so if we all feel the same, that we all feel misunderstood, we should do something. Like work on creating meaningful relationships with one another. So this is Chloe. Next. This is kind of how I teach. It's by just telling stories. I teach digital storytelling, creative writing, and all kinds of fun creative stuff. So one way that I teach master's students at the college how to connect with their students is by going through a day in the life of Mr. Katz in my class. That's me. So I show up at a school and I'm given the following information. Chloe is a Caucasian female. She's in low income bracket and she has average test scores. Okay, that's information. It's not good or bad, it's just there. Next. And then the principal says she distracts in class, she has eruptive behavior, she has low self-esteem, and then someone chimes in, she said drama queen. Oh, that girl is such a drama queen, don't even listen. Oh my, if you think that's enough, I just needed a couple words, I gotta go. And she's like, following me down the hall, she's so dramatic. Oh my God, that kid is, thank you. So next. And I'm a drama queen too, or a drama guy. She didn't really follow me down the hall. I just made that up to be dramatic. Okay, can I rope you in for reading some of these slides?
Chloe has 1 hour left to finish her digital story. She wrote a very compelling story, recorded a voiceover, and all she has to do now is gather images. She's emotionally guarded and doesn't feel supported by her teachers or peers. You're in the computer lab helping her complete her project.
Okay, she's just trying to get attention. Don't buy into her story. It's almost like this slide, you'll sink and drown with her in her own sorrow. I don't think so, but thanks for the help. Okay, so now we're going on. As you can see, I'm kind of defiant child. So, ideas. How would you handle this situation? Are there any teachers? There's no right way, but right now, here's the information. What would you do? Okay? Listen to her. Okay. Any other ideas?
Show her love.
Show her love. We should love her. You guys agree? Anybody have a different idea? Okay, next. So here's one approach. Again, there's no right approach. We're looking for what works, right? Yeah. Okay, so we can punish her for her behavior, set consequences, and then increase the punishment if she doesn't respond. Well, there's one model. Okay, next. So I'm posing the question, what if a child's behavior is actually out of their control? Next. These are questions. What if their life experiences can't be separated from how they react in school and how much information they take in, their ability to stay well, and their ability to learn and take in information? Next. So we're going to breeze through this, but this is the most current, popular, coolest thing in my experience right now, is the acceptance of this long-term study. And I'd like you to look it up if you haven't heard of it. I'm not even going to talk about it, but it shows how adverse childhood experiences affect people. So here's another approach. And when I talked about creating meaningful relationships, fostering relationships, that's the center of what I do. So here is the first one. I'm going to be the teacher, and Andrea's going to be the student. Ready to be Chloe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think she is. Okay, so we're going to have a conversation. Remember the scene? We're trying to help her finish. We decided we're going to listen to her and we're going to love her. And what was the other thing? Huh? Empathize. Yeah, we're going to be with her in a good way. Okay, so here we are in the computer lab. We're working on a digital story right here. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so everyone thinks that you are just pretending to get attention.
I am trying to get attention. I'm trying to get as much attention as possible so someone will actually help me.
She was stressing herself. This should be rewarded. Okay, so truth telling. I talk about taking off the mask a lot of the time, but I'll say very quickly, many times when I ask kids, students, little people, why don't you trust us adults? They say, because you're fake. Oh, because you pretend that everything's okay when it's not. And so I don't know who you really are. And so we can't have relationships, so I'm just going to hang out in the back of the room and silently hate you. And that's fun too. So there's an expressed need there. Well, let's see if you can find some really depressing pictures to go with your movie. Oh, look at this one. It's totally morbid. By the way, there was a vocab opportunity there. She didn't know morbid, and we had to look it up.
It's perfect. I love it. Let's find more.
She's changing. Okay? Thank you. Can we have a round of applause for Andrea? Okay, so building empathy, trust through shared experience. Next. When this project was done in an hour, something was supposed to take 4 hours, but we worked on it together. We actually had our headphones on. There was a librarian and a couple other students, and we didn't care. We were jumping up and down while we were adding music, and she was saying, I love it, I love it, I love it, it's so depressing, yay, I love it. Does that sound like she's depressed? So this is the transformation, and I'm not kidding. She was dressed all in black and expressing, shouting that she was sad and feeling dark and heavy and things were hard. We did that story. It's not always, so night and day like this, but it was in this circumstance. She felt heard, seen, validated, loved, listened to, all of these things. And then the next day, after we completed her story, she came, this isn't the goal, but she literally came to school in like short shorts and little like, what are those called, tank top kind of thing, like girly girl thing, you know? And we can talk about gender politics and all this, but she went from trying to express that she was really dark and heavy to she was really light and happy and feeling bubbly, and she was in the sunshine, just like this picture, playing with 5 of her new friends. She just made that a day because she felt so open and happy. And so I'm posing the idea that when we acknowledge people for who they are and where they're at, we give them permission to change and to shift.
Drug testing covers, doesn't cover what it will show, what it won't show, timing. Would it be a helpful thing if we were drug testing our kids at home, if we wanted to know maybe what they were up to and we weren't trusting them with the truth?
Another question, after you find out that they're doing a certain type of drugs, what's your next step? And this isn't me attacking you, I'm saying, do you have the tools? How do you respond to knowing that they're doing XYZ drugs? What's the next thing that you would do as a mom, right?
Yeah, I haven't known the answer to that.
I feel like we need those steps before we test them. So we figure out you're doing drugs. Now you've created some kind of disconnection, potentially, not always. You know you care about them, that's why you want to test them. I can say as a teenager, the teenager in me goes, okay, this means that my mom doesn't trust me and I'm not going to talk to her anymore. So we need, I think, like 3 potential choose your own adventures after we find out. That would be my suggestion, because you don't want to create more distance because you actually want to help. And if they're out of arm's reach, you can't help them.
So what would you do?
What would I do?
Like if you found out that your kid was on drugs, what would be your adventure next step?
Well, it's all circumstantial, everything's different, but I would do the same thing I do with a friend who was 50 or someone who was 10, I would ask them, hey, what's your name? How are you? Who are you? What's important to you? It's come to my awareness this is happening. Are you aware why you're doing this? Almost every time, especially with elementary through middle school, that pocket, and some like early high school, they say, well, yeah, I hate my life, and there's no future. Didn't you watch the news? I say, no, I can't watch it, it's too depressing. So I have a standard answer. It's to make some kind of connection and see what the pathway is from there.